I'm Rob Kircher and welcome to our 1905 cottage restoration. This is an ongoing series of episodes with my wife Barbara and I restoring this once diamond in the rough behind me. Now we've made lots of improvements over the last year, but there are still many more challenges yet to be overcome. There are plumbing problems, electrical problems, insulation problems, and folks, a myriad of other problems still hidden within her walls, and trust me, they are there. Now call us crazy, and we probably are, but we believe that we can turn it into an absolute showstopper. So stay with us as we spend time, money, and effort transforming this amazing old cottage into an incredible restoration. Well, coming up in this episode, we're going to be tackling a project that Barbara and I wanted to do for quite a long time. Yep, we're going downstairs into the living room and we're going to be replacing the old mantle above the fireplace. Now we found some incredible cherry wood in an old barn not far from here, and we're going to be fashioning that new mantle out of that old wood, and it's pretty amazing, and we're just tickled pink about the way this thing turned out. So stay with us and watch us as we restore and replace the old mantle. And oh, by the way, don't forget to subscribe, like, and share, and comment. As usual, folks, it is most welcoming and most appreciated. Thank you so much. Well, as you probably know, we're always working on our 1905 cottage, and our latest project has been this fireplace mantle. Well, Barb and I decided we wanted to put a bigger mantle on our fireplace, and I'm going to show you at the end view in a minute. It's just a very small piece of wood that was there when we bought the house. But what we did is we got some solid cherry, and I mitered it on every corner and on the ends so these pieces will fit together, and hopefully when it's completed it's going to look like one solid piece of cherry. That's the goal. So this is what we got so far. Well, here's an end view of the old mantle, as you can see right here, and it's about 3.5 inches by a little shy of 6 inches. And what we're doing obviously is we're marrying 3 pieces of cherry under here, and we're going to go in that direction, by the way, and that's going to significantly increase the overall size of the mantle, and I believe it's going to give it a much more realistic look in terms of the fireplace, because the fireplace is very cool, but it just had this tiny little mantle. Now we're going to give it something substantial. Now I used my table saw to make this miter on both ends and also at the other end over here, and it's not an easy thing to do because the length of the board is quite long, and it's hard to really maneuver on a table saw, at least the one I have, which is not a big saw. So I think we got it pretty well. So what I'm going to be doing is clamping it now, and I'm going to toenail in here with my brads all along, put the bottom piece in and toenail that, and then I'll show you the little trick as to how we make this look seamless. Seamless. Working on our mantle, and put the top piece in and it's level, and also miter the course this corner here, and then put some support boards here so I have something to nail into. And this is the bottom one that's going to go into place, and you can see how that's going to fit, and that'll be secured from the bottom as well. And then the last thing that has to have happen is this face board. I'll be working on that next. I'm now working on the last section of our fireplace mantle, and this one's a little tricky. A lot of things going on right now. First of all, we had to run the power cord from the television set down through a conduit and through this hollow section, and it has to come out over here, which is what this is. That goes down through another conduit, and they both go into the cable box. And then there's a couple other things that had to be done. This is the thermostat for the fireplace. It's a gas fireplace, but that was in harm's way. So I raised it and we were just able to do that with enough wire. So that, thank God, is out of the way. And then the last thing is this, and that is if this piece of wood that I mitered on 3 sides, and that gets installed like so. And as I mentioned at the very beginning of this video, is that there's a little trick that I learned from Barbara's father, who was a master cabinet maker, which is really quite ingenious, and I'll show you how we're going to do that, so stay with me. Okay, you may wonder what this is. Well, this is that secret I was talking about earlier. It's actually a combination of yellow carpenter glue and the shavings that I saved from cutting all the wood. And why would I do that? Because those shavings obviously are exactly the same color and texture and so on of the actual mantle wood. So when you put it into the grooves and it dries and you sand it lightly, it's going to be seamless. That's the whole idea. I'm mixing up, not quite there yet, but it's going to be like a pudding. So that's the carpenter secret I was telling about. No, but you can see what I'm doing here. I'm putting it into a crack here, and this is where the 2 boards were mitered together, and that is exactly the same color, obviously, as the wood. So as that dries, it'll be seamless. You want to just put it into the grooves like I am, and you go along and do the whole thing. And that's the secret. And then when this dries, like I said, I'm going to sand it down, and then we're going to put a paste wax over the top of this, and it's going to be absolutely fantastic. Okay, now take a look at this. I've actually put in that sawdust and yellow glue into all these grooves, and then wiped it off with a wet, damp cloth. And look at that. It's going to dry, but it looks like one solid piece of wood. And then you come around to the edge here, the same thing. Take a look at this. Here's another view along the top and all the way down the end. It's going to look fantastic. And as I mentioned before, what we're going to do now is go over it once it's dry, sand it lightly, and go over it with a paste wax. And here's the last side that I was working on. You can see how that worked out. Absolutely perfect. I love it. Here's what the final fireplace mantle looks like. This has got the wax on it. It's got the sawdust in between the grooves, and it looks like one solid piece of wood. Here's the front part. And here's the other side where the thermostat was. Our latest project has been this fireplace mantle. So we're going to give you a couple of views of it, and send us a comment if you like it. Thank you so much. This is what our living room looks like in the aftermath of putting the mantle up. There was a lot of sawdust that was in the air, and we had to completely dust the whole living room. But this is what the mantle looks like in all of its glory. And if you like it, send us a comment. And here's a view from the other direction. Well, I hope you enjoyed this episode as much as we enjoyed bringing them to you. And folks, this is an ongoing project. It's not going to end, at least for any time that we can see into the future. We have lots of ideas and lots of things that we want to do. So stay with us and watch us as we continue to restore our 1905 cottage. Thank you so much, and don't forget to subscribe, like, and share. It's most appreciated. Thank you.